Hello, Taurus. Welcome in. Welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading, a bonus reading for Tauruses because you continue to have some of the highest viewership for these readings. So I'm going to continue to send you out more. So appreciate you and your energies. All right, let's get to your reading, Taurus. What's the overall energy of today's reading? What? The birds just got louder, more excited. All right. Let's do a little less. That's half the deck. What's the overall energy of today's reading? Feels like there's a lot of distraction energy. Thank you. Outcome and advice for Tauruses. Thank you. All right, let's turn these cards over, see what we're working with here, Taurus. In the overall energy, we have the Two of Swords, the Ace of, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Swords in reverse. Okay, Two of Swords, a fog of confusion, a lack of clarity. Sometimes the Two of Swords, for me, seems like black and white thinking, trying to make a decision where there might be a third place opportunity, something other than this or that. But it does feel confusing. Especially if there's a decision to be made, it feels like not knowing when until the time comes. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This could either be someone getting out of a kind of slower period of time where things just in the 3D are going so slowly. And things are... I'm getting things are about to pick up where they've been going incredibly slowly in the 3D around something, around work, finances, building something. Ooh, I'm going to sneeze. So something that's been building, then something's taking off. It's been confusing. It's been slow. Page of Swords in reverse. This could be a mindset, something you were not seeing clearly, or a limitation in your beliefs that it feels like have kept things stuck in this kind of space, but it feels like something is about ready to give. It's like a subtle shift. Why is the Two of Swords here? Why is the Two of Swords? What does Taurus need to know about this fog of confusion? Yes, I agree. Three of Wands, Four of Pentacles reverse. It's expansive energy that I'm looking at. Taking action towards something, and you're letting go of a more stagnant way of being. This is as good as it gets. It feels like a subtle shift, but nonetheless, it's like letting the brake off. Letting a break, like you're trying to get some traction in something, and all of a sudden just releasing a belief, a mindset is like letting go of the parking brake, and then all of a sudden, oh, things are flowing. But there's some idea, some belief system that you're letting go of. Maybe that this is as good as it can get, this is as big as it can get, something like that, and letting go of those limiting beliefs and taking action. And it feels like with this Three of Wands action, you might perceive that there's a lot of action that you have to take, but once you get started, the universe kind of meets you halfway. Yes, it's definitely going to require action, this expansive energy, but it feels like it's much more easy than you think it's going to be, whatever this is. Maybe that's also why there's this confusion. All right, why is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse? What does Taurus need to know about the Knight of Pentacles in reverse? Magician. You've manifested this. You've asked for whatever is coming in. Feels like there's a dream that you're bringing into this reality, an idea, a fantasy, something you would love to perceive. And now it's actually coming true. You're bringing it into this reality, bringing the idea out of the ethers and into the 3D. It's something that you've asked for. What has Taurus wanted? Ooh, Three of Swords, Devil reversed. Something you've asked for. Something you are manifesting when you're leaving a toxic system. There's something about cultivating the environment that you prefer, manifesting what you prefer. There's something about when I get the feeling when you imagined whatever this is, something expansive, feels like it's around work or your environment. 3D Pentacles. Cultivating an environment that you prefer. Feels like you made this big dream, had this big wish that you're consciously manifesting. It feels like you asked for this at a period of time when you were separate, having betrayal, heartbreak, and leaving a toxic system, toxic connection. So what is the big thing that it must be different for each person? Is there anything more clarity that Taurus needs to know about what this big dream is that they consciously are manifesting? Well, there you are, showing up in your own reading, Taurus. When you show up as yourself in your reading, it really allows you to take advantage of these energies. Oh, okay. Whatever's happening. Oh, that's it. Okay, I got it. I had to piece that together. You have been in a fight or flight after some type of betrayal and leaving a toxic system. And it's taken you a while to get to this point where you're letting go of the beliefs, limiting beliefs that were keeping you stuck in survival. It looks like you're getting out of that survival mode of, yes, what can I say? Survival. And letting go. Feels like some of you are ready to let go of that survival and start switching your beliefs systems to thrival, out of survival. And there's a peace and a calm that comes with that, letting go of the stories of betrayal, of toxic, letting those stories die down and allowing a new story, this new story of letting go, of shifting from survival, sabotage, betrayal, and let those energies, let that energy kind of die down until it's gone. So you can be in thrival. I love that. It does feel like there's just a subtle shift. Like, oh, wait a minute. In the past, I was in a very toxic system or systems, and there was a lot of betrayal, nervous system, feeling wrecked, unable to see the way through. But it feels like there's some stability coming, that you're allowing what you've gone through to learn from what you've gone through. It almost feels like you're sharing in some way, you're learning from, allowing what you've gone through to elevate you. Everything that happens is happening for you. And so if everything that happens is happening for you, not happening to you, with that subtle shift, if everything's happening to you, then you're a victim of your circumstances, and everything, people are happening to you. There's no control over your own choices. When you start shifting to everything is happening for me. So if everything is happening for me, where's my mindset? So when someone betrays me in a toxic system, but everything's happening for me, then what does that betrayal mean? If you are under the mindset that a betrayal happened and everything happens to you, you have no control, then you receive it that way. It feels that way. You feel powerless, you feel victimized, you feel wounded and hurt, and attract more of those perceptions. So the same thing can happen, but if you've got a mindset that everything that happens is happening for me, and it's just my job to figure out how that is happening for me. So betrayal that's happening for you is letting you know that this person is not for you anymore. And it can hurt, it can be disappointing, but there's a recognition, oh, something has changed, or I'm able to see now that this person is not for me. And that's working for you to recognize that and to take action accordingly. There's some shift that you're having, and it's helping you make and be aligned with choices, getting out of a defensive mindset, and allowing you to it's just something very subtle shift in your mindset that makes everything else, from anxious and feeling defensive to everything's happening for me. It's all right. Doesn't mean everything's fantastic and works out perfectly in the way you want it to, but if you allow it, it can work for you. All right. In What's Hidden, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. A delusion, a false illusion. Inside the cup, the Knight's cup, that could be something real, it could be fantasy. It's emotional, negative emotional. Why is there this delusion, negative emotions in What's Hidden? What does Taurus need to know about this Knight of Cups in reverse? That's interesting. Thank you. Seven of Swords in reverse. The false illusion is coming to light. You're able to see things more clearly. This might be having to do with Mercury retrograde. You're seeing something that just the day before you couldn't see, you couldn't perceive it. It feels like there's a shift in the winds, a shift in the energies, the stars and the planets, whatever, that's allowing you what you couldn't see before, all of a sudden you can see. What advice around this hidden energy? What does Taurus need to know about false illusions coming to light, being seen? Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. New love coming in. This is taking things out of fantasy or delusion, and you're able to let go of what's not real, what's not tangible, touchable, what's a delusion, a fantasy. It feels like this feels like a lot of inner discernment, a huge but subtle shift to see what is not real, and by seeing what's not real, what's a delusion, what's a fantasy, you're able to let that go and focus on what's real. It feels like you're letting go of focusing on what doesn't work, what's a fantasy or a delusion, and able to focus on what really works for you, what you really want, and be in a flow state. This also feels like getting out of survival and stop trying to get somewhere. Stop trying to arrive somewhere. Stop waking up and feeling like I've got to get somewhere. I've got to do something. I've got to be someone. That rushing feeling. It feels like you're out of that survival, rushing, need to accomplish, need to achieve, and just enjoying your life more, being present, not having that oh my gosh, I gotta achieve, it kind of feels like maybe even letting go of some capitalism beliefs about your worthiness, tied to what you can achieve, and it feels like you're just enjoying life. Can you imagine with me waking up and not being, there are things that pull you through your day, things you've got to do, people you've got to meet and talk to, work, something that you do. But it feels like enjoying it. Because when are you going to enjoy life? Sometime in the future, when you achieve some goal that you have? If you put off joy, if you put off enjoying life, then you never practice enjoying life. And so it feels like there's something that just shifts within you, and you're able to focus on what works, what's a good payout for your attention, your focus, your care, and enjoying life more, being in this flow state, loving life. Not when you get to some point, but just it feels like landing, arriving. You have arrived. There's still work to do, things to move you through your day, but landing, arriving, everything okay. That feels amazing. All right. Outcome and advice. We have the Tower reversed. There's some false reality, some belief system that it feels like once you finally let that go, whatever that is for you, it gets you out of survival, out of fix it, out of trying to keep some... It feels, the closest I get is fix it, survival. And it helps you step into world building, just going after what you desire, enjoying life. Why is the Nine of Cups in reverse? Ooh, Ace of Wands reverse too. Okay, this is talking about the Tower reverse, when you're in that fix-it energy. Repair, try to keep something from falling apart, survival mode is unhappiness. Having not enough mentality, very unhappy. This might be from centering someone else in your life. If you've been raised, taught to decenter yourself and care more about other people and how they perceive you. If you need validation and energies to come to you from others this way, horizontally, instead of knowing who you are and being in alignment with who you are, vertical. It feels like there's exhaustion when you try to go into that fix-it mentality, try to keep something from falling apart that's meant to fall apart, getting out of that survival mode. It feels like there's exhaustion. Anytime you're around someone from this old energy that you've got old unconscious agreements, to center them, to fix them, it feels like you're starting to recognize change, and that you're no longer interested in fixing others, centering others. Feels like you have... Oh, that's interesting. When you're in fix-it energy, you just no energy at all. So on an internal level, old ways of showing up, just you can't show up. There's no power. There's no energy for that. Where your energy is towards world building, towards what excites you, what you love to do, your interests. Then you have the energy to go after. There's some interesting shifts that I'm perceiving, making big changes. It's too many cards. Any last messages for Taurus? Outcome and advice. Yeah, your shift, it's an internal shift, subtle, but it allows you to make big choices, big decisions where you've been stuck and confused. It looks like you're cutting out codependency, dependency, people who are draining and exhausting your energy. And you're also, it feels like you're not wasting your time with people, trying to convince people of who you are. You're just going after. Feels like so many subtle, beautiful internal shifts that allow you to really understand and have clarity and start making decisions on that from that new vantage point. So interesting. So I hope that's helpful, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your likes and comments. Thank you for being so supportive of each other in the comments. This is just such a wonderful space, and I'm so grateful to get to translate these messages for you. All right, thanks, Taurus. Take care.